5, 4, 3, 2, 1. What's going on, world? This is Fabian with Revolution Entertainment. We're here in Sacramento, and we want to bring to attention this little grassroots movement. And I'm here with Al Rojas, speaking a little bit about the organization and the grassroots movement that we got going on. Can you tell them a little bit about this?
Well, really, this is a repetition of 1965 and maybe even 1933 in California with the cotton strikes and then also the fruit strikes in the 60s, okay? This is nothing new, but for me, it's kind of like a repetition of history. It's come back again. Nothing's changed. Things are worse, and the conditions for our agricultural workers is worse, and more so for our people in south of the border and here. Why I say that? Because they were forced and being forced in the millions to where we have 20 million people who are forced to come here because of the trade policies in this country. And what happens? Well, mostly people are coming here are from Oaxaca, from Guerrero, from Chiapas, where the Mayan civilization once was very much dominant, and now they become slaves after being forced to this country, or forced to San Quintin, Baja California, where you now have 150,000 or more people who work in the fields, and these major corporations like the Driscoll Corporation, which we are in boycott with them, where they sell strawberries. In those fields, the exploitation is horrendous as it relates to the $6 and $7 per day, 13 hours per day.
Slavery. 21st century slavery.
They can be fired at will. There's sexual abuse of women, where the supervisors and men, supervisors and managers take advantage of the women by saying, if you don't, cooperate, then I'll fire your husband and fire you. And if you say anything, I'll fire your husband, and then we keep on, doing what we're doing. So women are traumatized forever. At the same time, families are destroyed. But in light of that, there's chemical poisons that are being used in the fields of Mother Earth. And these things are prevalent to what happened back in '65 and back in 1933. For instance, the Filipinos who came into Delano in 1965 basically were the ones who started the strike in Delano. And the mere fact that there was a nonprofit group called the National Farm Workers Association, which was the Larry Young was the AWOC, AFL-CIO with the Filipino group, and obviously the Mexican group we call was the National Farm Workers Association, led by Gilbert Padilla, Dolores Huerta, Julio Hernandez, Tony Orendine, and also Cesar Chavez. But at the same time, with that strike, we went to turmoil. So where are we at now? Again, in conditions worse than back then, because the corporations now come under attack against the unions. But at the same time, we have a union that has not done what's got to be done to fight back. And right now, this example of what's happened in San Quintin, that on March 17th of 2015, they decided they had enough, ya basta. And they decided to go on strike or work stoppage so that they can force the companies to listen to them. They refused. What did they do? They brought in the state police, the federal police, and they beat them, and they went into their homes early in the morning to inject the fear over a rumor, but they had no one had committed a crime or any damage to anything. So what we have is they're forced to now, instead of making people suffer in a work stoppage again, they've called for a boycott, asking all of us all over the world, especially the United States and in Mexico, because there's Walmarts there, there's Costco's there, and the thousands who are selling this very product as well are here in Sacramento, Safeway and Costco's and the Ralphs in Los Angeles, and all of us, irregardless of who we are, Latinos, Chicanos, Mexican Americans, whatever, we all are one people, and we all need to understand, we need to pass the word and share this information that on the 20th, this coming Sunday, the march from San Quintin that starts on the 17th culminates in the border on that Sunday on the 20th. We're asking all of you who are watching this to tell your friends that if you don't live that close to the border, you live in San Diego, or you live in Los Angeles, we want you to come. We want you to join us. This is a revolution of the kind of justice, and also one that we demand that our people no longer have to go to this kind of exploitation on the part of corporations and their greed. One little box of strawberries when you go to the store costs $6.99. That's what they earn, and that's the wage. The rest of the harvest of what they're in the production, you can imagine, becomes the profit for this corporation, who have the audacity. Miles Ryder, the Driscoll Corporation chairperson, sits on the Department of Food and Agriculture as a commissioner, has the audacity to be able to think he's being grateful to those workers by paying them $6 and $7 is what I call dehumanizing genocide of our people. And that's what we got to consider, is that we need to build a movement of support, and that day will be that day when you and your friends should pass the word that you need to be there. You need to be there, and if not, like I said, call your friends in Los Angeles, call your family members, students. This is about young people. The young people today are going to suffer the consequences like they are now about wanting to go to college and how much money it's going to cost you, and whether you have a good job or you have a hamburger flipping job or you work at some joint where they don't pay you but maybe less than minimum wage or minimum wage. So that's the message to all of you. On Sunday, March 20th, the march culminates in the wall of shame, the wall of hatred, the wall of racism that stands and exemplifies the policy of this country. We are indigenous people. We never came across the ocean. We are from this continent and continents. We used to migrate, but now we have a wall with these huge pipes where our people on that side and we're on this side of the border, and we're saying, why? Why isn't it that we cannot treat and open the border so we have a humane system where we allow people the decency of being able to be friends and also be neighbors and good neighbors? And so it's up to you, it's up to us, all of us together, to build solidarity, not leave them behind and leave them alone. They're going to be marching, when it takes 5.5 hours by car, they're going to be marching to the border. They are asking you to join them on that particular day, on Sunday, March the 20th, at 10 o'clock in the morning at Friendship Park at the border. If you not, go to my Facebook, go to Fatima Garcia's Facebook, and my Al Rojas Facebook, and also a Facebook for the Labor Council for Latin American Advancement, AFL-CIO, and where we do the marches here for May 1st, and also the Chavez March also here for the last 16 years. And our movement is about that. It's about rocking the boat, but at the same time, it's about justice and peace and what is right and just for our community and for our children.
Al, thank you for your time, man. Appreciate it.
Okay.
So now it's up to you to actually get out there and register to vote and actually practice your democracy. All right? Hopefully we'll see you out there.